Baltimore. I'm gonna grab me a train. I'm going back to Baltimore. I'm gonna find my baby, 'cause she wrote that piano. I'm gonna act like a rambler, and I ain't gonna stay home anymore. Not at all. I'm gonna act like a rambler, and I can't stay home anymore. 'Cause that gal I love, when she wrote that piano. Well, I said, Daddy, I'm leaving, and I can't come back no more. And she said, Daddy, I'm leaving, and I can't come back anymore. And if she don't come back, I'm going way back down to Ohio. Trouble, boy, trouble. I'm gonna play it again this time next year. Alright, that was B&O Blues Take Number 2, recorded in 1933. We're continuing on in our lessons with blind Willie McTell. This is the last video that comes in conjunction with my new ebook release, Blind Willie McTell, the pre-war recordings. So welcome once again. Truly happy to get to this point. We are finishing off with probably the most enigmatic song from this selection, and probably the most challenging and difficult. And this song is also typical of what's to come as you continue on in learning McTell's music on your own. Alright, so in order to start, like I always say, an acoustic guitar will do for now. McTell was famous for playing the 12-string guitar. I know that's not always accessible, so a 6-string guitar will do for now. I like to utilize plastic finger picks. Again, in the finger picking tradition, if you have skinny, frail fingers like myself, you want something to strike against the strings and create a crisp tonality, something that you can hear. The other thing mentioned is that the thing that complements learning these lessons is access to the ebook that goes along with this. Through all of my lessons, I go look at the ebook itself. I'm looking at it right now, and it's equipped with all the great chord diagrams, the tablature that goes over each part, the introduction, the verse. It has full lyrics and a lot of commentary for each part. So if you're looking at mastering McTell's sound, definitely check out the ebook, which is listed in the information settings and is available on my store at www.deltalumusic.com. Alright, so now that we've got that out of the way, we can talk about tuning. So what's a consistent theme we've been talking about through all these lessons? The way McTell tunes his guitar. So I had a very nice comment from Pete the other video where he says he's down tuning his guitar very low to try to mimic the piano and the particular notes that come with that. That was an excellent comment that was made. But in studying McTell's music, you will have to get familiar with down tuning your machine heads pretty low from E standard. I have transposed this song to be down tuned to standard C sharp tuning, again with the semitone being additionally used. Again, the semitone is a reoccurring theme with McTell's music. The actual reality of B&O Blues Take Number 2, produced in 1933, is that the song is actually played in standard B-flat tuning. So whereas you have an E standard tuning, the original song is down tuned so low that your top string is going to be a B-flat plus, a semitone up from B-flat. So I just played the song in C sharp tuning plus, but you might want to have with you a beater guitar, a dinky guitar, where you can actually down tune your machine heads. So I have this guitar tuned to B flat tuning, and you'll hear it from the original recording. If you were to play along, you'll notice how low that tuning is. So this is B&O Blues in the actual pitch from the original recording. It's got this deep drone, and my top string from the original recording, if you play it, is a B flat plus. I mean, we're getting to the point where the strings are almost falling off the guitar. This is how low he tunes it. That's kind of a sort of heads up if you begin to study McTell's music. And this song is the only song featured out of my ebook where the way I teach it is not matching to the original recording or the pitch. And that's the best I could do. But this is a good song to lead off in your own campaign and studying his music. Other songs that are tuned also in the same structure and composition as B&O Blues Take Number 2 are Death Cell Blues, which is actually tuned in standard D tuning. So that's a step up. And then My Baby's Gone Blues, which is standard C tuning. And he uses a semitone on Death Cell Blues, but in My Baby's Gone, it's a straight C standard tuning. All right, so I needed to get that off my chest. Tuning is very important in studying McTell's music, and it's something you'll encounter when you listen on. There are even songs that are down tuned lower than B flat, like for example some songs down tuned in F, like Lay Some Flowers on My Grave is down tuned from F. So you got the top string from E being down tuned to F. You're almost tuning it a whole octave lower to play that song. Which it's incredible that he did that. Nonetheless, moving forward, B&O Blues Take Number 2 is played in the key of G. So if you have watched my Love Talking Blues video, the songs are very similar. I highly recommend that you watch that before you play this. Also, as a prerequisite to watching all of my lessons, you'll have to watch my Beginning Fingerpicking Blues Volumes 1 through 4 to learn about the right hand technique and how I established this pinching double stop pattern, alternating fingerpicking pattern, and so forth. So you have the outer lining of the thumb rested above the 6th and 5th strings. The thumb is atop the 5th string. The thumb is going to play the 6th, 5th, and 4th strings, while the index and the middle finger are going to play the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd strings in conjunction with the thumb. So if you play like a G chord, you're like pinching together like this, and it will all kind of come to fruition as if you've been studying along with all of my lessons. So enough jibber jabber. I want to establish the tuning of the guitar. So if you've last left off watching my Kind Mama Blues, it's tuned exactly the same to what we had there. So I'm down tuned to C sharp tuning plus. I'm a semitone up from standard C sharp tuning. So meaning my top string initially being an E has been down tuned to C sharp plus. This is my top string. Go ahead and match on your side to the pitch that I have laid out. Alright, now I'll play the 5th string. This is going to be an F sharp plus. My 4th string is going to be a B plus. My 3rd string is going to be an E plus. My second string is going to be a G sharp plus. And finally, my bottom string is going to be a C sharp plus. So let's go ahead and play a G chord since this song is played in the key of G. Alright, so now we're ready to begin the introduction. So let's go ahead with that. Alright, so now we're going to talk about the introduction of the song. If you watch my Love Talking Blues, I talk about playing the G blues scale in the first position. You're playing this G blues scale because he extracts notes out of it in all of his constructions towards his riffs in these compositions, especially in the key of G. So if you haven't already, definitely watch Love Talking Blues. I go over that scale, and it's also listed here in the ebook in an example, and very clear to understand tablature. But the introduction nonetheless sounds like this. Once again, I'll play that one more time. Alright, something along those lines. So everything is loosely based on in G. So the opening introduction is similar to what we talked about in Love Talking Blues. You're playing these kind of half chords based in G. And you're having this lead up. So basically you'll be focusing on the second and third strings, and what you'll do is you're gonna play a series of 7 notes here, which are gonna sound like this. Right? And in order to do that, the fingering that needs to be established, you're gonna take your index finger, for example, and fret the third string, 3rd fret. Then your middle finger is going to come up and play the 4th fret, 3rd string. And then the right hand's going to take the index finger and then the thumb, and you pinch it together like this. So it's this chord, this half G chord. He runs it up and down the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd and 4th frets, maintaining the same fingering. He plays this combination. But rather than starting on this chord, he actually leads into it by playing the 2nd and 3rd strings open. And then he jumps into the 1st and 2nd fret, maintaining this fingering. And then he goes into the 2nd and 3rd fret. And then the 3rd and 4th fret. Actually, it was the 1st and 2nd fret, 2nd and 3rd, and 3rd and 4th fret. So the first 4 notes are beginning with these open strings. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then the next 3 notes, he goes back to the 2nd and 3rd fret. And then he goes to the 1st and 2nd fret and plays that twice. So in all, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's the first part. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then the riff is going to be a little tricky here. And what you're going to do is you're going to be focusing now on the 4th and 3rd strings only. And this combination of notes are going to be 8 in all. The first 6 are going to appear like this. You're going to play the 4th string open, then the 2nd fret 4th string, 1, 2, and then you're going to tick down to the 3rd string and play that open. And then you're going to focus on the 2nd and 3rd frets on the 3rd string. you're going to play this sort of hammer-on and pull-off lick, and it's going to sound like this. 1, 2, 3. Alright, so there's 6 notes in all, and the first 2 are like this, 1, 2, then you play the 3rd string open, and then the next 3 notes are 2nd fret, 3rd string, slide into the 3rd fret, 3rd string, and then slide back to the 2nd fret, 3rd string. So in all 6 notes are like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then he rests a little bit after he plays those first 6 notes. And then it's followed by this. And the last 3 notes of that are on the 3rd string. You play that open, and then you play this hammer-on the 2nd fret, 3rd string, and then pull off that and play the open string on the 3rd string. So the introduction and all is. And then I like to end it with the top string open, or top string 3rd fret, and end on the top string 3rd fret. So then the introduction is followed up by something that sounds a little bit like this. The original recording has it like this. So you're basically playing on ascending scale, G blues scale, starting on a 3rd fret bottom string. You play this, then you play the 1st fret bottom string, and then you go to the 2nd string, 3rd fret, and you're sort of hammering on and pulling off on the 2nd, 1st, and open strings on the 2nd string. The 2nd, 1st, and open string. On the 2nd string. So it's the bottom string is 1, 2, and then you tick up to the 3rd fret, 2nd string, and then you go to the 2nd fret, 1st fret, and then open. You're playing like a pull off. 1, 2, 3, 4 is what he's doing there. And then he ticks up to the 3rd string and he plays a similar concept. So he plays the 3rd string, 3rd fret, then he pulls off into the 2nd fret, 3rd string, and then he pulls off to an open string, 3rd string. So in all it's 9 notes. You have the 1st string, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9. And I'll play it note for note here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. But he plays those notes like a pull-off. And what you can do additionally when you're playing these notes, you play with the index finger, and then the thumb is playing the 4th string open. Or you can play it all as double stops. So it gives it sort of that additional harmony. You're doubling up on the notes with that added harmony. Or you can play that with the top string 3rd fret. As you're playing the top string 3rd fret. But it's a little tricky lick. Now I play it differently. I play it like this. I play it a little bit differently. But yeah, that's what he's doing there. You play those 9 notes, and then you end with the top string 3rd fret. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And you top string 3rd fret resolves all of those notes. And then he plays 3 additional notes, which are going to sound like this, to end that introduction. And what he's doing here is he's playing the 4th, 3rd strings open, and then he plays the 2nd fret 3rd string, and then again the 3rd and 4th string open. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So the introduction from the beginning will sound like this. And that last part is. But the thing is, I play it a little differently. I have my own variation of it. So I'll play it from the beginning. That's how I play it. I just don't like when he is pulling off. It's hard on the 6th string guitar that you don't get much power in that. It jives better in a 12 string guitar. But I have it laid out to what he's playing in the original recording. So what's tabbed out is what he's playing. You make of it of what you can. And then leave me alone. Alright, so that's the introduction, and now we're going to talk about the first stanza and the verse. Alright, so the first stanza, the first verse, is going to sound like this. I'm going to grab me a train, I'm going back to Baltimore. Again, it's, I'm gonna grab me a train, I'm going back to Baltimore. And if you have the chord diagram with you, and so in this 1 chord position, he's going back and forth between a G major chord and then a G7 chord. So in that first stanza, he plays 2 strums of each. The first notes are, you start with the G major chord, and it's, I'm gonna grab me a train, G, G, G7. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, G, G, G7, G7. I'm gonna grab me a train, grab me a train, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then he goes into this combination of the C and the C sharp major chord. This is incorporating a little bit of the 4 chord already in this stanza. And that part goes like this. I'm going back to Baltimore. So there's 5 strums here. You play the bass note out of that C major triad, 5th string 3rd fret. You pluck that once, then you follow through with 1 downstroke of the C chord. After that, 1, 2. Again, back to this cowboy rhythm. So he does, yeah, the 2 notes there, 1, 2, and then he shifts that C chord fingering to the next, the 2nd and 3rd and 4th fret to make it a C sharp major. And I tend to play the top string 4th fret, making it a full C sharp chord. And even for a C major chord, I believe McTell liked to really play these fuller chords because it sounds so nice on a 12-string guitar. But nonetheless, this sequence then continues with 1, 2, 3, 4. The same concept. The bass note of the triad, followed by the chord. You shift over to this, the C sharp chord, play the 4th fret 5th string, and then 1 strum on the C sharp major chord, and then you end with the G major chord. And it's the portion where he sings, I'm gonna grab me a train. Alright, I'm gonna grab me a train. I'm going back to Baltimore. And you say Baltimore on the G major chord. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Very easy. And he continues with that arrangement across the remaining stanzas. This combination of the G and the G7 chord is followed up by this lick, which sounds like this. It's really hard to play this lick. I have trouble with it. That's why I have my own variation of it, but I'm teaching it by the book. So to play this sequence, again, he's extracting notes out of the G blues scale in the 1st position here, and you're gonna, so this is a combination of 9 notes. The first 4 notes are gonna start on the 2nd string 3rd fret. You play that, then go to the 2nd fret 2nd string, and then the 1st fret 2nd string, and you play that one more time. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then the next 5 notes, right after you play that, it's a short pause, and you're gonna bend the 3rd string 3rd fret, and then pull off of that and play the 3rd string open, followed by the 2nd fret 4th string, and then the 3rd string open. And that lick sounds like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you resolve on the 3rd fret 3rd string. The 3rd fret 3rd string will always close out those licks. So the whole sequence there sounds like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And that's followed up by this. So after he plays his top string 3rd fret, he'll play the 3rd string open briefly, and then play the bottom string 3rd fret, and then 2 strums of the G7 chord. So in all, when you put it together, it's that sequence. So from that whole sequence, the stanza is, I'm gonna grab me a train, I'm going back to Baltimore. And then in the next sequence, he's going totally into the 4-chord position, meaning he's playing his C and C sharp major chord, and then he continues with the lyrics. Well, I'm gonna grab me a train, I'm going back to Baltimore. And then this is also continuing. So you have 6 strums of the C major chord, which starts off with the bass note of that triad, the 5th string, 3rd fret, 1, 2. Then you tick up to the 3rd fret, 6th string, and you play that followed by the C chord again. So it's again this cowboy rhythm. You're alternating on the 5th and the 6th strings. And he plays this 6 times. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, I'm gonna grab me a train. I'm going back to grab me a train. I'm going back to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then when he says back to Baltimore, he already goes and plays a 2-note combination on the C sharp major chord to Baltimore, and ends on the top string 3rd fret. So yeah, there's one sequence of that. So in all, there's 8 strums happening. 6 being on the C major, and then 2 strums on the C sharp major chord. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 7, 8 is in the C sharp major chord. And then you resolve on the top string 3rd fret or the G major chord. Well, I'm gonna grab me a train. I'm going back to Baltimore. Alright, so that's an easy portion which he also carries over throughout the whole song. And then that's followed up again by this similar lick which we talked about before, and it sounds like this. But it's a little bit different. So in this sequence, he starts off continuing on with the top string 3rd fret. He plays this little lick of 6 notes, which again is going back to the 2nd string, starting on the 3rd fret. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3rd fret, 2nd fret, 1st fret twice. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then here he ticks up to the 3rd string open, and he plays the 3rd fret, 3rd string. And then he plays the 3rd string open again, followed by the 4th string open. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 is how that sounds, rather than before it was like this. Well, in this instance, he's doing it like this. Right? So the 7 notes are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then he follows up by 3 strums of you'll hold the 2nd string 3rd fret and then play the 3rd string open together with that. And he plays that 3 times. 1, 2, 3 at the end of that sequence. So in all, it's like this. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. This is what he's doing there. And again, it's all loosely played in G. Now you can hold the G chord and play that sequence within it. And then if you're holding the top string 3rd fret, you can create that double backing of the harmony altogether. So we've talked about the introduction, the stanza, the 1 and the 4 chord, which leads us perfectly to the 5 chord position slot, which naturally tends to slot in D major, since this is a 1-4-5 chord progression based out of the key of G, and that's what we're going to look at here next. Alright, so now we're moving on to the 5 chord position in the song, and he's playing something sort of like a this is a part of the song that's so faint that you could hardly hear what he's playing. Now I think the inclination here is that he's in D major, but you could possibly get away with playing an A major chord here. But the way that I have it tabbed out is he's doing something like this. And it's the part where he goes, I'm gonna find my baby, 'cause she wrote that piano. And in this portion, before he goes into this D major chord, or D sharp or D/F sharp major chord, if you will. Before he does that, I feel like he does this quick run up on the bass notes that sound like this. So it's a combination of 7 notes here. I feel like he plays this little quick bass run up, which is going to be a combination of 4 notes. You're going to play the 5th string 3rd fret, then play the 4th string open, then the 1st fret 4th string, then the 2nd fret 4th string. And then he plays 2 strums of the D major chord after that, is what I believe he's doing. Although it's very faint and hard to hear, but he plays this little run up. It's played faintly, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you play the D major chord. And then you do that by playing first the D major chord, and then play the 4th string open, followed by another strum of the D major chord again. So and all the notes are like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm gonna find my baby. 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 I'm gonna find my baby, is what he's doing there, in my interpretation. And then the other half of that, he goes to these half chords again, where he sings out, 'Cause she wrote that piano. And that's the other part of that. Now this is a Blind Lemon Jefferson lick. Again, the influence is there. And then to play this portion where he goes, 'Cause she wrote that piano, wrote that. And all you're doing there is now you're starting off on the 3rd and 4th fret, maintaining this fingering position, right? The 2nd and 3rd strings. The index finger is hitting the 2nd string, 3rd fret. The middle finger is playing the 4th fret, 3rd string. And here, what you're going to do is you're going to chord this and just play the bass note out of it first. You'll play the 4th fret, 3rd string with the thumb. And then you'll play this 2 strings together after that. 1, 2, 1, 2, bass note, and then the 2 strings together. 1, 2, then you go slide over to the 2nd and 3rd fret and do the same. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then you go to the 1st and 2nd fret and do the same. 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then you end on the top string 3rd fret. When she wrote that piano, when she wrote that piano. So that sequence over the 5 chord is, I'm gonna find my baby, I'm gonna find my baby, 'cause she wrote that piano. And notice how I'm playing that bass note pretty fast. I'm gonna find my baby, 'cause she wrote that piano. Is what he's doing there. And then he ends on this lick, which is again similar to what we learned before, but a little bit different. Again, he's going back to these 6 notes. make it 8 notes. Again, going back to the second string, 3rd fret. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All on the second string. Then you play this combo, and that is the open string, 3rd string, then the 3rd fret, 3rd string, then the 3rd string open, and then end on the 4th string open. And then here, instead of playing this sequence before where it was the open string, 3rd string, and then the 2nd string, 3rd fret, well, here he's actually playing an octave. He moves over and he plays the 4th string open followed by the 3rd string, 7th fret. He plays this octave as it transitions back to coda. I'm gonna find my baby 'cause she rolled the right piano. I said, Mama, I'm leaving and I can't come home anymore. I said, Mama, I'm leaving and I can't come home anymore. Alright, so that's the kind of the framework to go by. He's injecting those various licks up and everywhere, right? And then he continues on in the song implementing the same things that we've learned against the remaining stanzas. You apply them accordingly. So in the next stanza it's more of the same. I'm gonna act like a rambler and I can't stay home anymore. I'm gonna act like a rambler and I can't stay home anymore. 'Cause the woman I love, she rolled that piano. Alright, and you continue and implement all of the stuff remaining forward. There is an instrumental break in the song that happens midway in the song. I think it happens after the 3rd stanza, but it'll sound a little bit like this. Alright, and you'll definitely hear it in the original recording. And it's taking again from Blind Lemon Jefferson in Got the Blues. It's similar. It's a very common lick used in G blues. And what you're going to do is you're going to trek over and you're going to be focusing on the 1st and 2nd strings over the 10th, 11th, and 12th frets, right? Your thumb is going to come down to play the 2nd string, and your index finger is going to play the 1st string. And you're going to pinch together like this. And to do that, you will... Alright, so the chord that you're going to be playing here is sort of like a half of a G chord. And what you're going to do is you're going to play your index finger is going to cover the 10th fret bottom string, and then your ring finger is going to play the 2nd string 12th fret, and you're going to play this together. Thumb on the 2nd string, index finger on the 1st string. Pinch together. And when he leads into this chord, he sometimes with the middle finger slides into this by playing the 11th fret 2nd string. And that's essentially what it's doing here. So in order to lead off this lick, he plays a combination of 7 notes here. The first one is going to be playing this 11th fret while holding this position. And that's the first note, is this 10, 11. So that's the first note, and then you'll play this chording of the 10th and the 12th fret together. You'll play that 3 times afterwards. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Sounds like the Zorba the Greek. Alright, so you'll have the first 4 notes be like that. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then it's followed up by 3 notes. And the next 3 will be like this. So the 7 notes together are like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Is a way to kick that off. And then it's it extends even more so in the next instance. You'll again, the next pairing of notes are going to be a combination altogether of 6 notes, and you'll again lead with this 11th fret, and you'll keep playing over this 10th and 12th fret combo. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you'll play the bottom string, 12th fret, with the pinky. So you'll play the second and first string on the 12th fret together to cap off those 6 notes. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then that's followed up by playing back in the 10th and 12th fret. And then, yeah, the last 5 notes are 10th and 12th fret, 11, and then 12th fret, and then you play the 10th fret bottom string, and then end on the 8th fret 2nd string. And altogether it's so he's just in this area. And then you're always going to end on the 2nd string 8th fret. So that's the instrumental break. And you can play that however you want. I'm not trying to, I try to play it note for note and tab it out of what I hear. Is what he plays there, and then this is immediately followed up by a descending run on the G blues scale. And again, stealing from Blind Lemon Jefferson. When the blues come to Texas, loving like a mule. Texas, he's copying a lot from Blind Lemon Jefferson. So in this next instance, it's a descending run on the G blues scale, and so you're going to play there's going to be a combination here now of 9 notes. Top string the first note's going to be the top string 3rd fret. Then you're going to play the open string on the 5th string, followed by, still on the 5th string here, 1st fret, 2nd fret, 3rd fret, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then you tick down and play the 4th string open. Then you play the 1st fret 4th string, and then 2nd fret 4th string, and then end on the 3rd string open. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then he ends with a G major, then G7. So it's what he's doing there. And then then he continues with trouble, boy, trouble. I'm gonna play it again, this time next year. I wanna find my baby, 'cause she rolled that piano. Alright, and then there's another portion of the song. He explores some more combinations in the 4 position. And furthermore in the song, let's take a little break here before I explain that, because we're getting close to being done here. Alright, and then there's one more variation that's happening on the 4-chord position. So he's going to be holding the C chord, and it's sort of involved in like an instrumental that happens later on. And so it's going to sound a little bit like this. Something like he'll play the C chord, and while holding the C chord he's going to take the pinky and he's going to play 3 notes here, and while holding the C chord the pinky is going to come up and it's going to play the 3rd string 3rd fret, and he'll play this double stop, the 3rd fret 5th string and the 3rd string 3rd fret. And then the middle finger is going to come down and you're going to play the 3rd string 2nd fret and then the open string on the 5th string, followed by the 3rd string open. And that sequence will sound like this. It's something like that. So that's that first part. You play the C chord twice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you play it again. So that first part is involved is 5 notes. 1, 2, and then this lick. 3, 4, 5, 2, and then the next sequence is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, and then he plays this lick, and that's the 3rd string open, tick up to the 4th string open, and then play the 2nd fret 4th string, and then the 3rd string open. So that all that together sounds like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Is what he's doing there. And then it's followed up by this lick. And again it's this 1, 2, 3 on the 2nd fret, and then on the 3rd string you'll play open string 3rd string, 3rd fret 3rd string, and then open string 3rd string twice. Right, and so that's one installation, a variation on the C major chord, and then he eventually resorts to the 5 chord back to G. I think there's an example here. There's a moment in the song where he flies into this D/F sharp major chord, where he's jumping into this chording where he plays the open strings and then he plays the D major chord on the 1st and 2nd fret, and you're sliding into the chord. I'm gonna find my baby. And again, I think that he plays this quick little bass run. sometimes he reverts to this technique to play that G chord. And then it's followed up by this classic. And then you continue on with the rest of the stanza. So a lot happening in this song. It integrates a lot of these complex chords based out of the G major scale in the first position, G blues scale. And then you have the C and the C sharp chords, and then the classic 5-chord position of the D major chord. So B&O Blues is an awesome song to play. Unfortunately, in the original recording, he plays it so low in tuning. This is what you're going to discover now that you've got a great foundation on McTell's music and his ideas. Go ahead and listen to his songs and see, taken from what you've learned so far, try to train the ear to pick out, oh, I know exactly what he's doing here. He's playing in this key. And once you identify those chords, it will be up to you to establish at which pitch he's playing it. So once you get the key down, go ahead and listen to the original recording and then establish with the bass note what pitch it's in. But it's a very nice exercise, and you'll need a flexible and limber guitar to downtune your guitars. And again, we're stemming away from the Atlanta 12-string album, which is downtuned even lower. But nonetheless, this concludes all of my lessons on Blind Willie McTell for this spring. I'm very happy that you've made it thus far. Do yourself a favor and definitely acquire this ebook. It's a masterpiece, the crown jewel of my collection. Again, thank you for following me thus far. Remember to follow me on my Facebook page, where I put up posts on what Delta Lu Music is doing and talking about different projects in the future and whatnot. Subscribe to YouTube. And thank you for keeping this music alive. I appreciate all of your commentary and smart remarks, comments, criticism. Much respect to all the musicians out there. So again, this is Delta Lu signing off, and thank you. It's been a pleasure, and we've got through McTell. I'm so freaking stoked.